This is Koi from Array of Gratitude, ready to give you a peace of mind to that one person, at least one person at a time. I can't help but to say that with so many changes going on, I've been changing my business again, but honestly, it's just reconstructing a little bit of things. It's not like a full makeover or anything. Still same name, still same purpose, still same mission, but I've just been changing a few things around, really simplifying myself because in these days and times it's been a little bit rough and a little bit unnecessary to be holding on and doing too much. Like, no, we're not doing that. But what I can tell you is I have some new things going on. I'm still selling my self-care products, that soul care products, especially for someone that wants to deepen their wellness journey, their healing journey, their spiritual journey, and really tap in and focus on some of these pictures that I have within my book, my workbooks, my booklet. I have those, my cards here that I sell as well, my soul care practice products that I have. And I just started to open something that I call the Creative Soul Circle, which allows us creative entrepreneurs and artists to come together and really recharge our energy and speak on certain issues that may be blocking your connection with your creativity and how to implement the chakras to break through the blocks as well as deepen a sense of self-awareness, because we're constantly using our energy, but we forget to recharge. And um, creating is important, and I don't think I need to go into any further detail, especially if you're a creative entrepreneur, an artist, or something I like to call a creative soul watching this. So, if you've been following me, I love doing my chakra readings. It gives you a sense of what chakra we're focusing on during this moon cycle of full moons or new moons. And I have this service that is in the description below. And I'm also doing something called, I'm also giving free readings. I think I want to call it the Lightbright Hour because one, I am AKA the Lightbright here, and two, I just want to give, some free services. I feel like Spirit has been telling me that I need to stop focusing on money and really just continue be of service. So right now, I'm doing something where you can submit a question anonymously. You don't have to put your name, and I'm going to, choose a question to divine with my cards. Okay, just a short mini one. That also gives you a chance to come on my page, you know what I'm saying? And like and share and whatnot, all that jazz. Okay. So anywho, yeah, let's start with just blessing this space. May we be able to find the opportunity, the truth, and the understanding that we need to at this time and moment. All right, let's go forward and let's start the show. So let's just start off with what chakra here is really being focused on this lunar eclipse. Now, we have a full moon, which will be in Taurus, which is supposedly partially, I think it's partially because it's not fully on axis of the sun and the moon as how eclipses are. And I read somewhere that this is actually the longest lunar eclipse that they have. I think we're going to have a 2-hour lunar eclipse. Usually they're only 30 minutes. So this sounds like just some intense energy, man. Did you buckle your seatbelts? Because I have. Oh, wow. So this is talking about bringing balance. I kind of want, this is a crown chakra. This is a lot of activation, y'all. I'm just kind of being precarious just to see if there's any cards that are going to pop out. Excuse me if I didn't say that word right. I I tend to get my words jumbled many times. Wow, wow. Okay, this is how you're coming at me today? So we have the crown chakra and we have the root chakra, which clearly is top and bottom. Really aligning. Really, there's a need for us to open up to our psyche, our spirit. Look at this. Can you see this here? This actually has a full moon right here, too. The heart. Unconditional love is something that we can connect to. It's one of the highest vibrations energetically. Sometimes people say God is love. You know what I mean? And whatever you call God, there is a sense of spirit within us that connects with the universal love, the unconditional love, and the terminology of God, right? It's a bigger, as you can see right here, a bigger energy, a bigger spirit that is connected with, has a peace within all of us. Um, and if we connect with our soul more often, we can also feel and understand and experience what is needed along our path. Um, and, us earthlings here, we need to balance balance the psyche as well as the body. I always like to say mind, body, and soul, or mind, heart, and soul here. Um, if the heart is leading and the brain is like, what? I don't understand. It's an imbalance. When the brain is overly computing and the heart is just shut down because it's burdened with grief and pain or whatnot. It's just a lot of blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So I really feel like this lunar eclipse is really getting into activating more energy within our cerebral process, um, downloading messages, ideas from spirit, um, and really bringing in a form of like something tangible, something that we can actually materialize here. You know what I'm saying? This is what the chakras do. But there's a need to check in with this heart, and let's see what this heart message is about here. Let me get one card. And whoa. Now y'all saw how I just took this out, right? This is not a magic show. This says your heart and mind can align by figuring out clearer intentions. Let's talk about intentions, because my whole journey of a ray of gratitude, I always intended that I wanted to have my own business, right? But the more I picked up the crumbs along the path that spirit was leading me to, the more purpose I knew I needed to have with my business. It went from doing something that I wanted to do and design, which is I love to design and sneakers, the aspect and the design of that. I love that. And then I was like, I want to help females. They're underrated. They're the most, they're the biggest consumer in the not spirit, in the sneaker industry, but yet we're underserviced, and they make like these colors that are just, pink and purple, and just leave it at that. You know what I mean? It just was like blatantly sexist, I felt like. And I kind of went into that lane, but I really wasn't being authentic. Bear with me because this is a story, right? So Spirit was like, you got to be clearer. Like, yeah, we do see that you can like tap into and help and inspire these females here. I found a common link that a lot of the female sneakerheads had this hidden creative aspect about them that they kind of didn't show, but they somewhat showed it through sneakers and style. But there was other artistic things that they did that they really didn't show. I should have, or maybe I shouldn't have, or maybe it's still open. I don't know. But I wind up feeling just unenthused because of the sneaker industry and just inauthentic people. So I also was having a straight up burnout, mentally, emotionally, and physically because I just was not treating myself right. My body was changing, and spirit was really redirecting me to gratitude. Um, Honestly, if you know anything about astrology and if you ever feel like looking at my chart, which you probably won't, but I have on my chart, like clearly, I've had a lot of trauma within the workforce. Just a lot of foul play, BS within my jobs and things. And in my sensitive ass, took things to heart. And speaking of heart, like I was saying, the heart weighs heavy, and if the heart is imbalanced and the mind is all the way up here, there is an imbalance. Unfortunately, there was a big imbalance for me for years. And my brain and body and heart was just like, boom, let's sit down here. And let's get clear intentions because Spirit knew that it was my destiny to have my own business. You know, um, I'm sure somewhere within my family there was a business owner, right? But a lot of them, no one really, I don't really know that many people, right? My parents weren't. So it was up to me in a way, you know? But needless to say, this is not all about me. If you're understanding this or resonating with this story, please comment below and let me know. Um, but I've said all that to say there comes a point in your life when you continue doing things that you feel is right. Your heart is leading you, but you're kind of not sure why. And then when you can connect with spirit, you can say like, okay, this is where people sometimes say free will or whatever. Um, be clear with your intentions. Um, just like Solange, the latest album she released, right? When that lady was like, intentions is everything, you know? It is, because that is the energy that's going to will that force in the right direction or the direction that you want to manifest something. All right. And if you are spiritually in tuned or you have this purpose like everybody does, and you're continually intending something else that's inauthentic to you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to just be wrapping around in cycles, in circles, and figuring out why things aren't working for you. We do have control over things, our thoughts and our emotions, which really helps with intentions. It helps us align with our heart and our mind, the thoughts with the mind, the heart with our emotions. Once we can align with that, that's a straight pew towards the manifestation. But you have to align with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get another deck out. I hope that's resonating because that was a lot. That was a mouthful. And it was kind of a lot about me. But these messages are general. So, you know, and I'm not sitting in front of a person. I am here recording, sitting in front of a wall. And connecting with the energy, putting my energy out. My intentions are that whoever needs this the most, may this message find you. My intentions are also any creativepreneurs, multi-passionate artists that are struggling, going through cycles of rebirth and death and rebirth. Trying to figure out the best way to manage and balance making money, right? And making your own money. And please like if you understand what I'm talking about, all right? So what do we have here? Your greatest project. You are the greatest project you will ever work on. And that's truth right there. And this is the discovery here. I also want to make clear intentions to anyone that is find themselves resonating with a spiritual journey that they have been on, or synonymous to your creative path, because I surely can attest to that. Once I started realizing, opening up to understanding that, I was like, okay, so, I always wanted to grow. I always wanted to learn. Like, that's just innately in me. I'm a Gemini sun. Like, we love to discover and learn things. Um, but the more I learned about myself, the more I tapped into spirit. It's like a saying that I remember finding on my journey of being aware about me and this path I'm on, that, you know, um, you search for God, you wind up finding yourself. You search for yourself, you find God. Like, I just love that. I think I might have, you know, put my spin on it, but you get what I'm saying when I say that. I'm sure you do. So let's get into this energy here, because this is interesting. Collectively, we have the crown chakra that is opening or possibly blocked, or overworked, right? And when you have a chakra that is doing one of those three things, guess what? It's affecting the whole string. Your chakras are like a string of pearls. You know what I mean? Well, similar to that. um, let's get into it. I feel like I'm kind of like talking a little too much. Let me just drink some water. Ooh, I am thirsty. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about what this lunar eclipse is bringing truth to, bringing light to, what is illuminating, what needs to be released. How are we going to transform this energy, okay? So let's see, Spirit, give me 3 cards. It's already 17 minutes in. I never thought I could talk this much in my life. Let me tell you, about 7 years ago, I was having the hardest time expressing myself, man. But again, the throat chakra was underactive. It was blocked, right? It affects other things. So, all right, many of you guys have been working on some shit. So, King of Pentacles here, right? I really feel like this is, and I'm looking at this too, this is reminding me of Taurus, the bull, which this full moon is actually in, which really speaks on values. A lot of times people are like Taurus and money, and they're materialistic and da-da-da-da. But guess what? Materialistic can also mean the things that you value, what your beliefs, how do you put your values in the things that you believe in? Because that winds up being expressed in tangible things. For instance, I like tarot cards. I value tarot cards because they help me divine messages, and help me tap into my spiritual essence, tap into my spiritual team, as well as connect with my intuition. Boom. You know what I mean? But others may not value that at all. They may not even value the fact that, they want to strengthen their intuition. So certain things don't necessarily always have to be material when it comes to values and beliefs. But 9 times out of 10, those values and beliefs will show up in a way that's materialized. So, money, tomato, tomato, money type of thing. Anywho, I am cutting up tonight. King of Pentacles also, though, he's the king because he does know how to honor his values and share that with other people, as well as receive things, from the intentions and the manifestations that he winds up acquiring. So that's what needs to be shined light on here. But I'm seeing that there's a need to release this falsehood here, because this in this deck is just like the Ten of, it looks just like the Ten of Swords. But it says here, everything is fine, right? So I can read this two ways. There's some people that may be watching this and really kind of like, I'm sorry to say, but like in la la land and really not understanding their psyche, understanding their spiritual essence, and really connecting with the spiritual energy that is all around us, you know, not connecting with our soul purpose, walking in life on purpose, you know, instead of reactively doing things. Because I do believe, I always say I mess up this percentage, but I feel like, I think it's 90%. It could be 98, but it's definitely 90% of our brain is, we act and react from our subconscious mind, which is 90% active. So that leaves like 10% of unconsciousness. um you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I blah 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 blah. Let's go back to this though. So there's some people that are really attached to the phone, you know what I'm saying? Just detached from life and their purpose here on life. And understanding how we're co-creators, you know, and we can co-create with the great creator of what we're here to do on purpose, right? And when we do this, sometimes there's a sense of anxiety. Sometimes there's a sense of just overly attached to things, earthly, worldly, you know what I'm saying? And that just can make you aloof and just really inauthentic. Really can, because it's kind of like you're just absorbing things that people are projecting to you, and you're not really allowing your soul to shine bright. Your soul is that authentic part of you that only you can experience, and only you can do certain things on purpose, you know, to live this experience. Now, for others, I feel like you already know this, right? And you started understanding, why was I like overly anxious? Why did I get all these messages or ideas at 50 miles, 1,000 miles an hour, like in my brain? And I feel like I don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? Or some people just know, like, hey, I'm connected with spirit. Some of you might be way too tapped into spirit and forget that, hello, earth to so-and-so, come back down, please. You know what I mean? But I do think that a lot of people are releasing a lot of energy within your psyche, within your mind, and like a lot of these thoughts that may be repetitively negative that you've been having, or just overly thinking about things, you know, what's the future holds, you know what I mean? Which I really don't use for these cards. I feel like my intentions may direct it in a way of what can I look out for within things coming, you know, unfolding before me. But, you know, I don't really like saying like, oh, what's going to happen in the future. You know what I mean? Like, what can I look out for? And how to transmute this, really, like this Nine of Swords here. I mean, she's doesn't look whatever. People sometimes don't like crying, but again, why are our tears salt water? Because it is cleansing, okay? And that's my belief, and I'm sticking to it. Let's clarify this King of Pentacles really quick, though, so I just want to dig just a little bit deeper, okay, y'all? Yeah, the way that you can transform this is really connecting with your emotions. We're in Scorpio season, which is transformative and which dives deep, okay? Scorpios are intense mofos, and I think they are more king when they can actually align their values with the depths of their soul and their sole purpose, you know what I mean? Because many times they can get reckless, okay? Just saying. And you know what too? Many times too, when our crown chakra or our root chakra is overactive or underactive, we become too obsessed. You know, that's not a great adjective. That's not a good character to have, because it's just like mine, greed. It's something you just don't really want to get caught into, because then it's kind of looking like the devil card in tarot. And again, let me keep shuffling this for a little bit. Like right now, I'm getting a lot of messages, and this can bring anxiety. I'm not anxious, but there's a need for it to slow down, right? So let's take a deep breath. I always tell people you always have time to take at least one deep breath. Take more if you need to. Now, what messages do we have here for you? Let's clarify this. Yeah. A lot of you all are trying to manifest things too. And you know, you haven't been seeing your fruits of labor, and it's taxing, because honestly, one thing that never fails, we are always getting taxed here, and we need money, you know what I mean? To at least have us the basic needs, you know what I mean? Like, to buy a Lambo, not necessarily, but if you got the money to do it, like, I'm not going to say you're wrong for buying it, but if you become obsessed with having fancy things, and right, the fancy things are highly valued, and then what's lowly or lower valued, family and friendship, and things that can be priceless, you know, it's an imbalance. But I feel like there's a lot of lessons that are being learned here that you have learned, majority of you that are watching this, I'm sure. There's some things that you're like, why can't it again? You know, but it's like, no, let's trust in spirit, because the Ace of Wands also talks about spirit, talks about new beginnings, you know, but it's not quite here yet, because there's a need for you to actually give that unconditional love to self, so you can understand and vibrate that energy out, exude that energy, so that you can start attracting what is meant for you. It's just been a lot, y'all. It's just been a lot of energy. The way that you can release this is knowing the Chariot card, knowing that you aren't personally in control of everything. Spirit takes the wheel many times if you allow spirit to. But if you holding tight on this wheel, it's going to feel like you're going to feel like those video games, you know what I mean? Like, you feel like you're in control, but you're kind of not, because a lot of them video games be cheating anyway, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, but the Chariot card also talks about the solar plexus, you know, having that confidence, having that drive, that willpower, utilizing your own sense of power, you know, but not to the extent where you're burning out, not to the extent where you're disconnected from spirit and really not tapping into your intuition as well. So, like, I feel like in this, I didn't even notice this Page of Wands here. I feel like new things will start when you can actually start transmuting some of these deeper emotions that are coming up. You know, sometimes I feel like I just need to say, like, sometimes you just feel like you're hit with emotions out of nowhere. It's almost like, if anybody's seen, what is that, Tinkerbell, Peter Pan and Tinkerbell throws like fairy dust on people. That's how I see it sometimes when, like, I get an intuitive hit or something. It's kind of like Tinkerbell just comes over and is like, ding, and then it's like, oh snap, I got this idea. Sometimes emotions come like that. And like for me, if I don't really investigate my emotions by at least asking myself, what in the world is going on here? You know, that's like the first step for me. Um, how will I know? You know? And I've been doing that for a while. But I remember years ago, 10 plus years ago, I used to kind of invest myself in, um, I would do that. Then I would ask other people that really had no idea, no credentials towards what I was trying to do or talk about, or just, I don't know, just wasn't really trustworthy of having this conversation with. And for some reason, I'd allow them to project whatever fears or jealousy or envy towards me and then get misconstrued. And this affects your power center, your solar plexus. Because your solar plexus also ties into the intentions um, and how you project, um, how you emit energy, you know, as well as receive. And it would always be like confusing to me. And I felt like I was confused because one thing for sure, I was fighting my intuition, not really even knowing what was best for me either. Um, but now, since I'm a highly sensitive person anyway, picking up other people's emotions and things like that, the best thing for me to do was to ask, what am I feeling right now? You know, how can I release this energy? And spirit winds up showing me. I wind up getting the messages. And sometimes it's like I'm acting out and I didn't even realize, up, here I go. I'm inviting the people pleaser that's inside of me because I'm trying to prove somebody this, that, and the third, and blah, blah. Don't need to do that. But you know, I'm human. You know, it's not like you're sinning. No, it's not like that. But it is like, okay, these are some negative things that I got going on. This is within me. This is part of my character. I am not 100% an angel, and some angels ain't even all good. But we're not talking about that right now, okay? Um, this is about really digging deeper and understanding who the F you are, okay? Having that self-awareness and knowing that you are spirit, but you are having an experience here in this earthly realm with lots of lovely material things as well as nature that is very natural, and we can utilize this nature that can help us really divine with what is needed to be in the present moment and what direction we need to look and go so we can create these intentions and so we can manifest something along our path on purpose. Okay? And you can't ride this motorcycle without spirit guiding you. You just can't. You may think you are doing this, but it's still spirit, y'all. Like I'm spirit is guiding me through this message right now. You know what I mean? Um there's something I want to say about this though. I do want to say, like, how do you think someone came up with this idea to design a motorcycle in the first place? I just want to leave that there because I've said multiple times, which is the answer to that question, but I just want to leave that there for you. Anywho, what are you creating? Let's see, what are you creating here? So I'm creating, let me not do that. I'm creating a card deck and I'm in the process. I have some designs out, but a few things got put on pause. But you know what? You know how we can do up in here. So what are we creating? Any special messages here? Wow. Okay. Money. A lot of us have been, where I work, there's a lot, like there's a subscription to things, and a lot of people have been calling in canceling their memberships, which I found like wild. I'm like, okay. Or they won't, they'll cancel their service, because there's other things happening. I have battery and recharge. So, like King of Pentacles, it's really needed. There's a need to take a break. There's a need to take a rest because there's a lot of energy just in itself. Lunar eclipse just magnifies and amplifies things to like the thousandth degree, if I could get that word out, so like definitely take a nice bath, take a nice walk in nature, do something that you really like doing, even if you want to just get your nails done and your feet done. Do something that you can just kind of relax and just say, and try to extend it for 30 minutes. I like to tell people 5 minutes, but guess what? Take 30 minutes for yourself, because I really feel like you're going to need to. And I have Clover, Ladybug here. I think that when you can really kind of surrender to spirit and really like allow this release of emotions, allow this release of tension, allow this release of just mental activity to just subside, you're gonna get that idea that you need to. It's going to allow more room for more ideas to come that you've been banking on, because this is a coin money thing, ching ching here, and it's like, all right, what's up? So I think, especially to my creative souls, there's a need for you to just stop. And I'm definitely going to take my own advice, because I've been kind of like, oh, let me do this. Like, I just started my Creative Soul Circle, and I'm like, we talked about perfectionism and the crown chakra. And then guess what, y'all? When I got off the phone, perfectionism struck me again. And I was like, I had to stop and I had to laugh. And I just say thank you, because I'm glad that I'm aware. Many times we are not aware. And that's where the gratitude really comes into play, for me at least, because it's like, I don't know how long ago. But I mean, I was young, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you weren't even aware of these things. You weren't even aware of how you were acting or treating people or treating yourself, So let's get the wrap-up advice for this. Bless you, bless your heart if you are still here on this line at 38 minutes, okay? Getting it in with me. There's one thing I do want to say, though. Comment and let me know how you're feeling this energy now, because I'm pretty sure you are. As I'm recording this, tomorrow is the start of the lunar eclipse energy, I believe. But we've already been in it this whole week, honestly. Like, with a regular full moon or new moon, usually there's energy felt 3 days before and 3 days after. With this lunar eclipse, man, we felt this last week. You know what I mean? But, let's get something here. Ooh, this is nice. Get 2 cards for it. One more card. There we go. Okay, so we got Dream and Journey, Intend and Create. This is interesting. High Priest, Intend and Create. And then we have Rebirth. There's a lot of us are going through cycles that we felt like we've been here before, but there's a hidden treasure that we did not see. And the only way that we're going to see that is by slowing the F down. you cannot see certain things if you're driving by 65 miles an hour versus you walking by it. You just don't see it. So there's a need to slow down, because I feel like a lot of us are on the brink of something new, something great, something renewed, right? But at the same time, we're like, damn, how do we do this? How do we travel to this? How do we manifest this? How do we see this, right? How do we oversee this? I'm seeing right now an eagle, circling around for its prey. We may feel like we're stuck in a cycle, but what if we look at it from this perspective where the eagle circles around, right? So it can see its prey and know when to drop down and get its eagle on. Let me stop, y'all. I am cracking myself up tonight. I must be really tired because when I get tired, I get goofy. Or maybe it's just spirit. But anyway, yes. I see this circle here, and we have the full moon. This kind of almost looks like an eclipse here too. If you can see, I don't have the best lighting. Yeah, I just feel like just take some time out. And really, if you can, try to be still and even quiet. You'll be surprised what you learn by doing something like that. These are my messages, y'all. This is all I have for you. I really hope you enjoyed this. I am very grateful for those that have watched all of this. Please take a look, check out what my Creative Soul Circle is about, because I'm here to to support artists, support creativepreneurs with their journey of understanding themselves so they can remove blocks and really break through their creativity, as well as understanding their spiritual connection with their creativity. This is just something that I've honestly been hiding in the shadows for a really long time, but it's time, y'all. No more hiding. This is like whatever. And I too am being rebirthed right now. And I just want to say, welcome. Let that old skin shed and put some nice new baby lotion on it, on the new skin, okay? I gotta go, y'all. I'm tired. I am working off of a little bit of sleep. So, I'm going to put a link in here for anybody that wants to know what the Lightbright Hour is. It's something that I want to shine light on. And some people, some people just don't really know the vibe of a reader, or are interested in tarot but not really quite sure how to go about getting a tarot reading. So I want to give y'all the opportunity to submit some questions. We're going to see how this goes, right? And I'm just going to go and read the questions, anonymously, and pull some cards for it. And if you check it out, if you become a subscriber, if you hit that notification bell, you'll be able to see if your question got read. All right. So check out the links below. Please comment and share my creative souls, and subscribe if you're feeling the vibe. And check me out for more. I'm outie. Happy full moon. Buckle up, meditate, and kick those feet up, okay? Until next time, I'm outie. Peace.